Times Now, India's impactful CEOs Conclave 2024 4th edition. An opportunity for leaders and industry experts to exchange insights on driving change, creating impact, and leading responsibly towards a sustainable future. The event opened with a special address by Dr. Surendra Ahiwar, Joint Secretary, Logistics and Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India.
What we are seeing, especially when we look at enhancing exports, we are not able to probably compete with the products coming from other parts of the world or other countries, including from China, right? And we are not able to compete not only in terms of the price, but also in terms of the quality of the product. And this is probably, you guys can have it examined as well at your level. I think we are not able to, or we are not been putting adequate resources in research and development. So the P, Q, and the R is the research and development for designing of the good product, for ensuring the better quality of the product, and also adopting or developing such technologies which can produce whatever we are able to produce in a more cost-effective manner and more efficient manner. And of course, sustainability is very important, and we cannot be ignoring it from the very beginning of our enterprise or any business activity or economic activity for that matter. And finally is that trust of the customer, trust of the citizenry, trust of the consumers, not only in the domestic market, but also in the foreign market.
This was followed by a standalone session from the Corner Office, a CEO's journey of leadership and legacy by C.P. Gurnani, former Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Tech Mahindra.
As the famous saying goes, did I stop? No, I thought I will stop, just for a few months. And that's why I'm hoping that my introduction is not the former CEO of Tech Mahindra, but it starts saying, I am C.P. Gurnani, is not done yet. And I was retired officially for 4 months. Exactly a year earlier, I chose that I will step down because I thought it'd been enough in that corner office at Tech Mahindra. For the next 3-4 months, I evaluated all the various options of becoming a coach, becoming a mentor, doing these speaker sessions. I tried everything. And then I said, listen, I think I need to get back. And then, American friends would ask me, what's your bucket list? And I said, if there was a bucket list, I would have completed it. I'm an action-oriented man. Why would I wait for somebody else to tell me what is the bucket list? But then I can only tell you is that the most exciting part of my life has just begun. And I've chosen to do a startup. And there is a huge difference being an entrepreneur manager and being an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur manager, I learned from some of the best entrepreneurs in this world. My first kid, as I told you, the first 20 years was learning from the culture at HCL. One of the best companies to work for as a young leader. Shiv was an inspiration. Shiv Nadar, the founder of HCL. Arjun Malhotra, the co-founder. I have never seen more customer-centric manager. Ajay Chaudhary, the other third co-founder. The man was a powerhouse of ideas. Similarly, all I can say is, when I look back at the journey at HCL, I would say the best part of that culture was empowerment. The best part of that culture was ideapreneurship. People talk about intrapreneur, people talk about entrepreneur, but ideapreneurship. If we even examine the way HCL has grown, you would realize that they pretty much reinvented themselves at every stage. HCL started as a distributor for handheld computers, no, sorry, calculators. From there to participate in the PC revolution, they continued to bet their ranch or their company, and I was part of it. Many of us won't even remember that there was an India which had banned an IBM. There was an India which was very, very difficult in allowing imports. There was an India where you had to pretty much either re-engineer what you had seen in the West or had to extend the definition of everything.
This was followed by a guest of honor address by Shri Baldev Purushartha, IAS Joint Secretary, Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, on the topic From India to the World, Building Legacy Through Leadership, Innovation and Impact.
Although this is a very, very difficult and busy time for Ministry of Finance, but I thought that one of the job role of Ministry of Finance is how to develop the entrepreneurship. The epitome of that is coming in shape of our Indian CEOs. So I must come and talk to all of you. And not only talk to all of you, it's not a one-way sharing of my thoughts. I would be better also get enlightened by thoughts getting from all of you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to stand before you today to discuss a subject that resonates deeply with the aspiration of our nation. As a country, India is at a pivotal juncture with unprecedented opportunity to leave a legacy on the global stage. But how do we translate this potential into tangible impact? The answer lies in the dynamic interplay of leadership, innovation, and the unwavering commitment to making a meaningful differences. And you would be happy to know that the Chief Secretary's Conference, which we organize every year, and this year we are organizing from 13th to 15th, the theme is entrepreneurship, skills, and jobs, leveraging the demographic dividend. And entrepreneurship is an area where your role and contribution is going to be the key change for a developed country, which we are aspiring for.
India's Impactful CEOs 2024 Coffee Table Book. Could we have the unveiling, please? And could we have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? That's the first look being unveiled, India's Impactful CEOs 2024 Coffee Table Book.
This was followed by a felicitation ceremony honoring India's impactful CEOs in diverse sectors. Akshat Seth, MD and CEO, HIL Limited, was felicitated as Impactful CEOs of India. The next CEO to be felicitated as Impactful CEOs of India was Navashil Sharma, CEO in Solar Energy. Naveen Chandra Jha, MD and CEO, SBI General Insurance Company, was felicitated as Impactful CEOs of India. Rakesh Kaul, MD Live Pure Private Limited, was felicitated as the Impactful CEOs of India. The next CEO to be felicitated as Impactful CEOs of India was Sabyasachi Goswami, CEO Perfios. Sunu Matthew, founder and MD Leap India, was felicitated as the Impactful CEOs of India. Umesh Mohanan, Executive Director and CEO, Indel Money, was felicitated as the Impactful CEOs of India. The next CEO to be felicitated as Impactful CEOs of India was Vedmani Tiwari, CEO NSDC and MD NSDC International. Venkatesh Naidu, CEO Bajaj Capital Insurance Broking, was felicitated as impactful CEOs of India. The next CEO to be felicitated as impactful CEOs of India was Vivek Mishra, CEO Rafe Fiber. Dinesh Kumar Lodha, Group CEO Medica Bazaar, was felicitated as the impactful CEOs of India. This was followed by a research methodology and case study showcased by Lalit Batra, Senior GM, International Business and Client Servicing, Median Research and Consulting Private Limited.
So we have two entities, one the organization and second the leadership, the individuals. For the organizations, we considered brands that have presence in India. The information should be available in public domain, the turnover and longevity of operations. For categories, we selected enterprises with turnover 250 crore plus and longevity of 5+ years. Even for startups, we considered startups with turnover of 50+ crores with longevity 3+ years. The individual consideration. So we looked at people, those who has number of years in leadership role within India, should lead an organization in his or capacity as a CEO and a proven track record of contributing to the organization's growth and transformation, and have an ability to align organizational strategies with market demands contributing to profitability.
This was followed by the inaugural panel discussion, Waves of Impact, How Transformative Leaders Shape Markets and Mindsets.
Transformative is a big word. I mean, I always get very intimidated, and the relevance of that, especially in current times, when you compare it with conventional forms of leadership, what really does transformative leadership mean, especially in current times? And would love to get the views from all the panelists there. And where do you think CEOs and leaders of today need to adapt on their own styles to emerge as quote-unquote transformative versus conventional leaders? Is conventional not working? So maybe we'll start with Vineet on my left.
Transformative is a really big word. I think for me, more than transformative, adaptive makes more sense. I think adapting to today's time. We are in a consumer-facing business where we need to adapt every day because our consumers are very young, they're demanding, they're changing every day. And so are our employees changing every day. Their demands are also. So I think today's time is not anymore about transformative, but I think it's about adaptive leadership. How you are able to adapt, because end of the day, business goals have to be still delivered, but markets keep moving, consumer demands keep moving, trends keep moving. We're in a fast fashion retail business. We're one of the few international retail fashion companies that have come to India, set up and been here for 15 years. For us, a large part of that transformation was adapting to India.
Transformative leadership. See, every leader, when you're playing, leading an organization or playing a game, you're playing two games. You're playing ball by ball and you're playing to win. So for me, transformative leadership is about, every organization is playing ball to survive. So one is you lead an organization to survive. But when you're changing that thought and you're leading an organization to win, that is transformative leadership. If a leader is involved in day-to-day functions and day-to-day wins and day-to-day numbers, then this organization is not going to go far.
Transformation is really about moving from the mind, it's really moving from processes and looking at outcomes to really changing culture. And I think culture and mindset. And I think that mindset is so lasting that it allows you to play to win in the long term, right? And how do you do that is really essentially what, leadership today is about. So yes, transformative is a very heavy word. I think it is just today's leadership is really that. So it's about, how do you bring empathy into leadership? How do you sort of understand how the motivations of your team aligned with that of the organization? I think these are things that come from really deep down having a much higher emotional quotient and emotional intelligence, which is something which I think is increasingly you're seeing that today in, I mean in the world, right? So that allows you to really explore, understand, and what emotional intelligence really does is understand the motivations of your teams and then sort of try and align that to your organizational interests.
It looks like sudden, but first of all, transformative is a very, very thought-over process. It's never a sudden thing. Like yesterday, Sundar Pichai has unveiled Vilo, quantum computing, less than 5 minutes of computing, which normally would take the universe lifetime to do it. That's a 30 years of work. That's a sudden change, but 30 years of work. I personally believe that there are 3 ways to do the business: follow the change, be the change, or drive the change. And the moment you follow the change, it's an easy game. The Hindu growth rate, industry growth rate. Be the change probably will take it slightly larger. But when you drive the change, I think you start taking risk.
We are in the fastest growing economy, and on top of that, I am being in renewable energy sector. It is fastest growing sector into the economy today. And I feel that every day you need to be agile, ready, and aware of the changing of technologies and changing of the sustainability needs in the world. As a leader, I feel that the 3 things are most important: listen and learn, analyze what you have gathered the information, you have to analyze, and decision making. Based on your own analysis, you may come up with 2-3 options, but you have to make the right decisions. So the 3 most important things according to me in leadership are listen, analyze, and decision making.
A leader should lead by example, by embracing change and bringing in innovation at all levels of the organization. Today, if we talk about innovation, it is directly correlated to digital transformation. Now, digital transformation has to happen at every parlance of the organization. So it has to be there in the vision, and it has to be like a mainstream strategy of the company. If you want to have a very open culture, if you want to have a data-driven culture, if you want your customers to succeed, it is of utmost importance that you get digital transformation into the company. But at the same time, leaders also need to think and analyze that technology should not be in such a format that people are left behind. So people upskilling is also very necessary to bring in digital transformation in any kind of our organization.
I think the role of the CEO has changed dramatically in the last 3 odd years. If you see earlier the demands used to be largely homogeneous. The demand has moved into very heterogeneous fashion actually. And typically the consumers, particularly the Gen X and the Gen Z, no longer take brand loyalty as a passé or as something which is sacrosanct in fact. So for these kind of consumers, they require the brands to be agile, they require the brands to respond to their needs in real time, and also they love brands who give them a great experience on delivery, great experience on customized engagement. And hence the role and the organization has to be much more agile, much more sharper in its response to these kind of consumers.
There are many leadership competencies that are really emerging for successful CEOs, but if I were to nail it down to 1 or 2, authenticity and empathy, I think would be 2 largely important competencies that would be emerging. And authenticity and and empathy in understanding customer needs, providing them what they want, when they want, how they want. Authenticity and empathy in understanding your team members and all the stakeholders and providing them the real honesty, the real truth. I think that is something that is becoming very critical as leadership competencies. There are many more, but I think I would like to nail it down to these 2 to really make that impact.
First will be innovation and technology. I think that is where you will be making yourself ahead of the curve in front of competitive environment. And when I say innovation can be on a product, innovation will be other things. but more importantly, how you use the technology in today's world. To really take example in Medica Bazaar, where we have empowered our hospitals and clinicians in all tier 2, tier 3 district, where they can buy everything on medical device and goods from our medicabazaar.com, which has the biggest number of portfolio which we have created for them. So technology really created a huge reach across India, which is a 700 plus district. And that's what I think the power of the technology will be key to really go ahead in the curve.
Businesses today need to think and act in shorter cycles, adapting swiftly to changing conditions. To achieve this, CEOs should focus on building quick thinking and fast acting teams supported by agile organizational structures. Leveraging tools like digital technologies, AI can enhance decision making and operational efficiency. Most importantly, staying anchored to consumer preferences through robust mechanisms ensures organizations remain aligned with market demands, driving growth and innovation.
We are living in a very dynamic and competitive business environment. I kind of would like to hit on four, which I feel are really, really important priorities for all CEOs and all leaders. The business environment, the first one really I want to talk about is a business environment, which is constantly changing at an accelerating pace. And so should the assumptions be underpinning business strategies. CEOs should be able to establish a process for regularly revisiting and updating strategic assumptions that guide all our business decisions. The second is the technology disruptions that are happening, leveraging the emerging capabilities of artificial intelligence and advanced predictive data analytics to cover the various aspects of the business. Artificial intelligence holds the potential to automate processes, support data analytics, and enhance data-driven decision-making in creating novel products and services.
The management approach based on 4 pillars of brand, network, data, and user experience has been at the core of my success. Organizations which care for these 4 essential elements are always at the forefront of innovation.
Leading digital transformation as a CEO is no longer optional. We have to redefine OKRs, redesign org structures, reimagine talent as innovation leaders, and think of technology as platforms. By doing these changes and leading the digital wave, we can create new revenue streams, reduce cost of operations, and create competitive differentiation.
In today's fast evolving financial ecosystem, impact comes from staying ahead of change. At Perfios, we turn uncertainty into opportunity, powering financial institutions with decisioning, intelligence, automation, and deep data-driven insight. As a tech fin, technology is not just part of what we do. It is our foundation, our DNA. We build platforms that are shaping the future of financial services at an infrastructure level, redefining decision-making, driving seamless digital transformation, and helping businesses scale with agility. From powering end-to-end customer life cycles to real-time fraud prevention and strengthening trust in financial transactions. We are not mere participants in the ecosystem. We build the rails that drive it.
I think a strategy for any CEO, it starts with the 4 stakeholders which are more important. First and foremost is customer. So second is your shareholders. Third remains the employees, and fourth is the regulators. So any CEO has to create value for its customer by providing the best kind of solutions. He has to create value creation for its shareholders, because then only he will get the trust of its shareholders. And then the third is employees. The employees should be more productive and they should see the value in the organization. And the last one is the regulators, which is again extremely important. Not only it should be complied with the regulations, it should also ensure that the vision of regulator to be taken care in its value. At the end of the day, whatever it is, it should always be a part of the growth story of India. And any institution, I believe that the best part any CEO can do is to ensure the consistency of performance and resilience to take care in case of any kind of problem.
In today's connected world, the future CEOs require a unique blend of skill sets. One of the main things is flexibility to adapt towards the changing landscapes and digital fluency in a tech-driven environment. Empathy and emotional intelligence are the most crucial elements in driving a diverse team and fostering a human-centric element. Finally, a strong ethical compass is crucial for navigating through complex challenges and building trust. The ET Now India's Impactful CEOs Conclave 2024 4th edition culminated on high voltage discussions, pride and a sense of achievement. Though the curtains came down, but the search for excellence by the Times Group will go on.